I don't know what the plan is if it goes over. She didn't really say. She said wait till it stops doing that, but I thought I was gonna have enough room. Whoops.
Too dark now? Too dark. I'm at a light grade. So I just got home from the flow grids. I did my 2 magic shows today.
There are stains on your photo, little cracks on your rusty frame, stuck in the muddle, but it's okay. I don't have the pieces of your home, buried in the flashbacks. All these wicked nightmares have gone cold. Now we go way back, as far as way back goes, still standing by your side.
Hello. I am at the Florence Griswold Museum in Old Lyme, Connecticut. This museum is a treasure of Connecticut. So the reason I'm making this video today is I want to talk about why it's so important to engage kids in art. So the number one reason, as far as I'm concerned, that kids should be exposed to art is that art is about the imagination. It's about things that are possible, things that seem impossible, maybe things that are impossible, but it dares us to dream bigger. And as per usual, when I am doing a bunch of shows during an event, I didn't have time. I had to do 2 shows and I had to get lunch and reset the show in between, and then I was talking to people at the end. It was crazy. So here's kind of what I wanted to say. Why do kids need exposure to art? First of all, art is about storytelling. All art is fundamentally storytelling. And when we write our own lives, there are bugs everywhere. When we make choices, decision points throughout our life, do this, don't do that, meet this person, put on my headphones here, all those different things, we are writing the story of our life.
We're all stories in the end. Just make it a good one, eh?
And as a kid, when you get exposed to lots of different types of storytelling, good stories and bad stories, good characters, evil characters, all the types of things you think about when you think about storytelling, I feel like you get a better sense of what type of life you can create for yourself. Second reason kids should be exposed to art. Art is subjective. It's one of the best ways to introduce kids to the idea that some people like some things and not other things, and not everybody likes the same things that you like, and that not everything in the world is going to agree with the things that you like and the way you see the world. That's what art does. When you look at a painting and you go, you know, I don't get it, and the person next to you says that's a masterpiece. You have to figure that out. You have to talk to them. You have to find out why they like it. And you may not end up liking it, but you get them to explain to you why they like it. Or when you listen to comedy and you like it, but somebody does. Like, you ever have a funny movie, like for me, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, right? Classic comedy.
'Tis but a scratch.
A scratch? Your arm's off.
No, it isn't.
Well, what's that then?
I've heard worse.
You liar.
Come on, you pansy.
But if you show it to certain people, they just look at you like, why? I don't understand why this is a classic. I don't understand why you're laughing, why you think it's funny. So art is subjective, and it's a great way to get kids to understand that there are different perspectives in the world, and yours is just one of them. Third reason kids should be exposed to art. Art is about taking risks and experimenting. Art is all about breaking stuff. You make something, you figure out what works, what doesn't, you try again next time. You make a painting, you're not thrilled with it, you figure out what didn't you like about this one, you work on getting better, and you make it again. But at the end of the day, it is subjective. What I think great magic is different from what some of my friends think great magic is, and that's why we have different shows, and we are not cookie cutters, because we each have a different vision, a different way that we see the world that we're trying to express through our magic. Same is true of theater, of painting, of sculpting, of filmmaking, all these different things we're talking about. So taking risks, trying something new, failing, learning what didn't work from your failures and trying again, that there's something, art art is a place that we get to fail safely. There's a lot of places in the world where if you fail, it's very dangerous, right? It's one of the reasons we have an instinctual fear of failure. If at first you don't succeed, skydiving is not for you. Right? Skydiving is a place where you can't fail and learn from it. If you fail, that's it. You don't get a chance to learn from it. But in art, we can fail over and over and over and over again, and we can learn from our failures and learn what we want out of this life. Fourth reason that kids should be exposed to art. Having kids discover the nature of beauty, and again, it is subjective. When you think something's beautiful and somebody else doesn't think it's beautiful, confronting that, I think a lot of why I think, as I'm going through this list, a lot of why I think kids should be exposed to art comes down to that subjective nature of it. That it forces you to have conversations with other people, and maybe this is the fifth reason, is it forces you to learn the things that you don't like and articulate why you don't like them. I think that success in life is largely a process of elimination. We don't succeed by doing something well. We succeed by learning all the things that we don't do well and learning all the things that we don't like. One of the best tools for success, for me especially, being self-employed, which it has its ups and downs, but one of the best tools for success was learning what my strengths were. And you learn what your strengths are by learning what your weaknesses are, right? You learn it by, you fail at lots of things and you discover, I'm not good at that, I'm not good at that, I'm not good at that. Like, there are things that I'm not good at, I hire other people to do for me. And I hire other people to do for me, one, because I can afford it now, and two, because they are good at those things. And I think we spend a lot of time teaching kids and also telling each other to focus on our weaknesses. We spend a lot of time trying to improve the things that we're bad at, when what we should be doing is focusing on improving the things that we're good at. You spend so much time focusing on things you're bad at, trying to get better at those bad things. There's other people who are good at those things. Let them do those things. You take care of the stuff that you're good at, and you learn what you're good at by experimenting, by getting exposure to the world. And art in all different forms are ways for us to experience life and learn what we do and don't like about it, and figure out what we do and don't like about ourselves. And when you have a sense of what you do and don't like about the world, and what you do and don't like about yourself, you can actually change things. You can't change anything if you don't know what you're trying to change. Exploration in art is a great way to find out what you care about, what you believe in, what you value. For all those reasons, and many others, I think kids should be exposed to art early and often, as much as is possible.
We're reading the newspaper because it's the 1950s, and that's what we like to do.
You do kind of look like a 1950s housewife right now, reading the newspaper and baking.
And I'm making a meatloaf for dinner, so there's that.
What type of ice cream are you making?
Well, plot twist, I changed it because originally I told you banana.
You did tell me banana.
I'm making one called 100 Acre Wood.
Oh my god, really?
Uh-huh.
Oh my god.
It was 100 Acre Wood because they had gummy bears in it, and then they took them out because some people thought the gummy bears got too hard. But I want the gummy bears in there because you love gummy bears, and I want it to be 100 Acre Wood ice cream. So right now we're making honeycomb candy to go in the ice cream.
When an erotic photographer.
No, that's not what we're reading. We're reading the bottom. No, we're reading the bottom.
This is what I just.
Sure. Ha 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 ha. Look at this. Isn't that crazy?
Huh.
What do I do? It's not like I can. It's not like I can stop it. She said use a large saucepan. I thought that was a large saucepan. It's the largest one we have. Apparently I should use like a giant lobster pot because here we go.
I've got you.